So tell me a little bit about yourself at first.
Well, I left school at the age of 14 and a half, that's in 1964. And one of the things about leaving school was I hated it. I hated it from the first day I started to the day I finished. But I was very poor at school. I was totally unable to read and write. I think that's got a lot to do with all the teachers I had were the old people who didn't go to war. Because obviously, you know, I just finished the war in the 1950s. When I started school in 1955. We still had rationing then. So the teachers were the teachers that got left behind. You know, the old chaps who should have really have retired. So I think that's one of the reasons why I had such a poor education. I was brought up in the East End of London. I think they just didn't give us any hope at all. So I left school at 14 and a half and I went straight into hairdressing. Because I didn't have the skills to read and write, I had to do things with my hands. So hairdressing seemed a good way to go. I started off in gents hairdressing as a shampoo boy. I then went into ladies hairdressing. I wasn't quite enjoying it. It was nice meeting the girls and all that sort of thing, but I wasn't really into it. And then my brother, who's a butcher, he said to me, "Oh, come and join me in the butchers." And I went and joined him in the butchers. I was with him for a few years. Then he moved on, and I then moved on into supermarkets. I ended up becoming a manager of the butcher department in the supermarkets. But again, it still was never quite what I wanted. I always wanted to be doing something else. You know what I mean? I was one of those restless sort of people. So I started up trampolining, and I found it really exciting, energetic, something I enjoyed doing. At the age of 21, I became a trampoline coach. At the same time, I was looking at the stunt world, I was looking at film and TV, and oh, it's such an exciting life, I'd like to do that sort of thing. So I then started training to get onto the stunt register. To be on the stunt register, you have to be a silver award. So it's quite a lot of hard work, and you need 6 disciplines. So I started with fencing, which I love fencing, foil, épée, sabre, really enjoyed it. Obviously the trampolining, then there was horse riding, great, I loved the horse riding, that was good. There was swimming and diving. There's another story there. I can't swim. I still can't swim really. I can swim underwater, I'm really good. But swimming wasn't one of my strong subjects, and diving certainly wasn't. I hated the water, hated jumping into water. But nonetheless, I continued for a while to get onto the stunt register, but it never really come to a full fruition. Well, I can't say that. But then I started getting stuntmen coming to my trampolining lessons, learning how to fall. I started teaching them how to do the falls, the high falls, how to move their body on the trampoline. Then I started helping them out on their jobs. I ended up becoming what they call a stunt rigger. Now a stunt rigger is the man that sets all the equipment up, make sure you've got the fire extinguishers, make sure the crash mats are in the right place. I remember a stunt, I was working with my friend Billy. We were at the BBC Bush House, and we were doing a promotion for something that was coming up. I can't remember what it was. Anyhow, we got all the equipment set up, and you had to fall from the balcony inside Bush House and land on the crash mats. And as he left the balcony, I could see, with my experience, that the angle he was travelling at, he was going to miss the crash mat. So I quickly just rushed over there and pushed the crash mat just enough for him to land on it, otherwise he would have missed it completely. They all thought that was part of my job, but it wasn't. He should have set himself up in the first place to do it. But yeah, there were quite a few films and different things we did together. There was one where I had to jump, I had to get shot in a window, and I had to fall down. So I got shot at this window and I fell down. We did this job about 6-7 times, but there's some railings just in front of me, so it made it quite tricky. You had to be precise on where you fell, but it was a piece of cake. And that was for a James Bond sequel thing we did, which was really good fun. Also in the same shoot, we had to roll a car. So we had to drive along at high speed, hit this ditch, and the car rolled. Anyway, we drove along, hit the ditch, plop. The car didn't do anything, it didn't roll. We'd already set his car up with special seat belts, special roll cage, and the damn thing didn't roll at all. So what we did in the end, they set the camera up round the front, and they got 4 or 5 men to lift it up. It was already on its side, and they just rolled it. Well, in the film world, you do what you can to get the shot, and that was one of them. So that was the beginning of my into the industry of film and TV.